Hey guys, this is a bit of a different video. Now, I really wanted to show off a bunch of the cool proxies I got. Shout out to the Awesome Sauce Proxy Group. Those guys are incredible. They have been, since the beginning of Fantasy, making sets of proxies. Really high quality. I want to actually show them off a bit. I'm sure at this point most people that are going to be ordering them have already ordered before, but I really recommend if you can get your hands on a set of these. They're totally perfect. They're worth the money, everything. But I want to give you an update about a bunch of the decks that I have in person and kind of the state of kind of my own mess that I have in my place here. Now, of course, I got an absolute clutter everywhere. I got my cards and everything, just cutting out proxies, all sorts of fun stuff everywhere. But I have a lot of decks built. I have more than this. These are just the ones I'm going to go over here. But I want to just really show off, seriously, just the quality of these things. I mean, oh my God, look at this. This bomb coup. I think one of my favorite cards in the entire game here, Dr. Weedle's Revival. They just made the promo set of these. Holy shit, is this just stupidly pretty. And it's like in the proper setup format now versus the vertical. I really like the job that Michael did with these things. Like, oh my god. I love all these MP levels. All the mastery art. I thought it was kind of interesting that they chose the amplified mastery to be red controlled anger drill promo art, which I'm totally fine with. I love this image. I love the Kaioken, but damn, are these things just incredible. But anyway, I was testing against myself. Actually, of course, I have Anthony Tardino's Resolute Hero Boo deck. That deck is I think one of my favorite decks I went on Build Beauties. It's really, really fun. Really good. I've been testing Adept. Of course, I'm using an Awesome Sauce Proxy for that. The Adept Mastery. I love this thing. With the new Goku stack, full new Goku stack. Only one game with it so far. I've been running mostly adaptive, but anyway. We'll go over the decks that I have. I'm actually looking forward to. I get to finally trade out these crappy Hrudegarn paper proxies that I have. I have Adept Hrudegarn, of course. I was kind of convinced that that's probably the best version of it by Ty Tracy playing against him, but looking forward to trading these out, of course, for these new pretty Hrudegarn foils. We have that. I have, let's see, I think this one is this Oppressive Goku. All Draku stack. I like the Drillku deck too, but I just wanted something. This is mostly a deck for testing against hyper aggro. We have Knowledge Dende, of course. This is one of my favorite decks in the whole game, in all of Fantasy. Really, really fun. Ruthless Majin Vegeta, again, Awesome Sauce Proxies. Love these things. I have bought every set in foil with, of course, promo Ruthless Mastery. Really, really good deck. Really good deck to have in a gauntlet. I don't play this deck a ton anymore, but mostly just for self-testing. I have Android 16 Mimicry. Again, this is a deck that's just kind of more fun than anything. I'm looking forward to putting the new Awesome Sauce MP stack for this on top of the Fancy Level 1 here. We have Manipulative Nail. Of course, I'm running all the promo. But great deck. This is a fun deck that Brandon Biggers was running. Again, another Build Beauties deck. Really, really love this deck. Really, really fun. I've had Adaptive 20 forever. This is one of my favorite decks of all time. Yeah, I don't know much more to say than that. I just always love having this deck to play. It's just such a fun deck. Resourceful Broly. Again, using all those promos. Love these things. But this is a really good deck. Resourceful Broly is one of those decks that I think was kind of on the fringe a bit. A lot of people did try it out, like back in set, I'd say 10, 11. But it's still a really good deck. I like having it for testing purposes. But I've been playing it a lot more lately. It's been a lot of fun. Oops. I think I got these mixed up. Oh well. I have an Oppressive Future Gohan. Now, this deck is really fun to me. Enhanced Future Gohan. This deck is really fun to me because I put the entire deck in custom art and printed them out. My own MP art. Definitely wouldn't play it in like a tournament per se, but I could very easily swap this out. But this deck is really fun. Every card in the deck is some Future Gohan art that I was able to put on the cards. So this was a fun deck. But it's actually one of my favorite decks right now. I have another Draku deck, but this one's using the Super Saiyan 3. It's another Brandon Biggers inspired Rampage and Goku. This deck is just running all the auto levelers to get up to level 4, and you just keep looping 4 to 3, beat down. Very similar to Draku, just a normal Draku like rampaging or oppressive, but fun nonetheless. Garlic Jr. Commanding. This is a deck that Henry Johnson has mentioned to me multiple times. I really think it's fun. As far as competitive, I don't really think it's necessarily competitive, but it's a very fun deck. You run the Garlic Jr. 1 through 4. You run things like Resourceful Black, Red Premonition, and you get all sorts of free crits from the Mastery. You get the bustedness of like things like Healing Drill. At least what I'm running. I'm running some drills in mine on top of Red Ball. So fun deck. Fun deck. Again, another deck I get to trade out the proxies for. Resolute Mastery and Janemba. Really fun. I think I like this the most because you get Blue Rebuke, Blue Terror. It's really easy to proc Blue Rebuke with this deck. If you're running Unleashed, you're always going to have cards attached to you because of the level 1. And so you can always go attach a Rebuke with an Unleashed, or with your level 3, or even your level 1, for that matter, and 4. And yeah, you get Blue Terror, gets you another Unleashed. Really strong deck, really fun. I think there's an argument to be made for Red as well, but Blue is what I've settled on for him as being my favorite. I have a, let's see, what is it, Combative Kami? Yeah, Combative Kami. This is another deck that I've just had put together forever. Really fun deck, really good deck. I could see that, or just, I think having like that or Combative Trunks in your Gauntlet is always going to be good to give you that orange combative matchup, specifically for testing. I have Knowledge Gohan. This is, I don't know. I just have this one for testing mostly. This is a good beginner deck too. It's kind of replaced my Knowledge Piccolo as the Teach Somebody deck. Just really good, I'd say, floor on that deck, to be completely honest. A lot of cool synergies with his levels. So we have, let's see, what is this? Enlightened Gohan. This is just your basic Brohan, really. Not much more to say than that. It's just another one of those decks that I keep at testing at all times. I'd like to find another good ally deck to throw in a testing loop. I have Bobbity built, but I don't really like my build that much. Of course, I have Manipulative Cooler. Again, gonna get to trade out this level 1. Whoops. This paper level 1 for the new level 1 proxy that I just got, but this is my deck sniper build. It only runs, I think, 10 planning cards. No, 12, 11 planning cards. 2 drills, 3 of the, each of the setups that searches your opponent's life deck. Really fun, really good deck. Of course, I have Ascension Trunks. And, you know, this deck is, again, one of those testing gauntlet decks. It's kind of one of those decks that you always have to be prepared for in testing. Let's see. Rampage and Gotenks, again, I kind of put these decks next to each other because they're both my MPPV testing, but Gotenks is a bit more the aggressive. Ascension Trunks a bit more of the defensive. Both really good MPPV decks to gauntlet against. I have another Gohan deck. I think I have, 4, if you include the future Gohan. We have Imposing Gohan. Again, hyper aggro. Just really for testing. I don't really enjoy playing it that much. And same thing with Deborah. I like Deborah a bit more because I enjoy the sword cards, but it's mostly for testing. Mistress Deborah. I have Adaptive 18. Now, Shane makes me like 18 because she just throws heaters. I love this deck. This is such a good deck to test against. It can win the game at literally any point, which is hilarious. You can have this deck down to nothing, but if you're smart with what you retrieve with your 1 and 2, you get to the bottom of your deck and then you're just throwing, you know, +5, +6 on all your energies. Is pretty silly. I have, let's see, Perceptive Tien. Now, I chose Perceptive because I run a lot of styles in this. You can definitely build Black Tien a lot of different ways. Of course, I run the Fanzy 1 and 2. I like this one because It just counters a lot of decks. I don't really need to pop the Tri-Beam off that bad. And I do like the combination that it has with rejuvenating things like targeting and, or sorry, not targeting, preparation, and being able to put Solar Flare back in your deck for certain matchups where you need the tech. The 2, of course, is beats heavy and does have some synergy with the self-destroy cards. But I really like this deck. It's fun. Like I said, I did Perceptive because I wanted the board clear. I didn't want to run, other stuff. There's an argument to be made to run things like, Dig and just go all in on the Tri-Beam with like Mischievous or Manipulative. But I like this Perceptive one. It's been fine for me. I have, of course, Radiant Slug. Oh, there's my Radiant Mastery. Again, fancy promo. Very nice. Gonna trade out for that level 2, but yeah, it's Slug, it's Ball. I just changed the deck up quite a bit to be much more like a traditional Slug. A Radiant. Before I wasn't running things like Salvo. And I have Namekian Flinch in there now, instead of like Namekian Grit. I was originally trying to do like a bit more of like playoff level 3 for the big rejuves, but now I'm just kind of going more for straight Dragon Ball and Survival. And of course, I still have this deck. I've changed this deck up quite a bit. This Wheeler deck. Yeah, I don't know. I go through different builds of this every once in a while. I have a hard time taking it apart. I love like Black Research. One of my favorite cards, I think, in the game. As is Wheeler's Revival, of course. Which I'm going to probably... I have foil versions of the regular Wheeler's Revival. I'll probably throw these in there just for, I don't know what's the word, but just so everything looks nice. But these are really pretty. These make me want to just play Dr. Wheeler. And then, of course, I was trying out the new Piccolo stack. I'm going to take this deck apart for something else with the new Piccolo's Multiform as of right now. And so that's most of the decks that I have. I have about 5 more or so over here. Oh no, 6 more. I have this... These are all decks that I didn't really want to put in the same pile because I'm working on these / taking them apart. Of course, Resolute Krillin with the full... Or sorry, the 1 through 3 is from the Revelation set, and the 4 from Premiere. So that way I get all the 500 or less, 500k or less cards. Specifically, Pesky Barrage. And then, of course, I have a Mimicry Boo. Yeah, this deck is just a dominance with drills. I think it's the best way to play it. We got Tag, Bobbity. Again, this build needs some work. I know Sterling Horton, I really liked how his stuff was going. It seemed like he was testing really well with this deck. I know my buddy Cody likes this deck as well. It's just a matter of cracking the right build for it. We have, let's see what else here. We got Commanding Frieza. Again, I was just testing out the new stack with the previews. Fun deck. Fun deck. I'm not really sure how good yet, but fun gimmicks going on there. I really love using I'll Dig Your Grave to level from 3 to 4, and then just throw a double Villainous Energy Beam for like, what is it? Like I think it's +2 mods, so like 16 cards on Preventable Banish. It's pretty cool. Of course, I have a Raditz deck, Raditz Enhanced. This is kind of my own build. I did take some keynotes from Derek Faraji, again, another Build BD's participant. I did just get new Raditz levels here, so I get to trade all these out. His old stack in Fancy promo, and his new stack from OP4. But I get to... this deck is really good. This is a fun deck. Has a lot of comeback potential. I'm definitely going to take notes from the other players that I've interviewed to kind of make this deck better, and that's why it's off to the side. I just kind of use this for testing mostly. I have, of course, Commanding Pycon. This is a deck that, again, there's something here. There's something I gotta work on this one. I think I'll just make it mostly camp. I currently have it with Unleashed, just because I was tired of running out of stages, and so I figured if I level, I get stages. The problem is when I'm playing this deck, I either want to be on 1 or 2. His 3 is kind of meh most of the time, and his 4 is really good, but even still, I'd almost rather be on 1 and 2 for the anti-event, like the event canceling powers on 1 and 2, versus the kind of mediocre attack on 3, and the really good attack on 4, but, yeah, So kind of a weird build path there. And of course, ooh, do I have, no, that's just magic stuff. And then of course the final deck that I have built here is a Conflict Vegeta, which again, awesome sauce art. These look great. This is of course all Awakening stack, and it's just running freestyles. This is a Dragon Ball Victory deck on top of Beatdown. I can win either way, really. It does a pretty good job at both. I don't run Unleashed. I just run Beats and Dragon Balls. So, you know, you can level up, but it's a nice little gauntlet deck. I actually really enjoyed this deck quite a bit, more than I thought I would. I used to always crap on this deck when people would talk about it being good, but... So that is about what I have put together for now. Of course, oh my god, I'm going to put together... I had Videl decks put together, and these proxies just look so damn good. It's like hard not to want to build some of these MPs. I feel really guilty that I have not built the Tapion deck yet. I might make red amplified Tapion is what I'm thinking. That or black. Not really sure. But yeah, and of course I do have a Spirit Bomb Goku deck. Oh, over here. As you can see, Saiyan Quest is poking out. But I have a Spirit Bomb Goku deck that also needs work, and that's why it's over in this pile. But I have all these decks. I got to work on them, and then of course I'm going to continue to probably build some new ones. Definitely going to be using the new MP stacks I got. Just trading those in that are there, but do need to make like I said, the Tapion deck and go on from there. So yeah, guys, that is kind of the update on all my personal stuff there. I hope you guys are enjoying getting out playing. I'm super excited for, this is gonna be set 16 now coming out. Not to mention we might get an OP5 set probably in the winter, I would guess. There's a good chance, maybe the late fall. I'm really excited. Like I said, I think the MP that I've been enjoying the most is Goku from that set. He's just kind of blatantly like got a lot of synergy playing with drills already. So I'm trying him out in a couple different things. I started off with Adaptive. Now I'm moving on to Adept. And then I think I'm going to try Red Amplified and Commanding. But yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying getting out there playing. Check out Awesome Sauce Proxy Group. Seriously. Their stuff's incredible. They always do the new sets, so if you're looking for the older sets, you might be able to find some if you go to dbzoutpost.com, or if you go to... there are some on eBay too, I think. And if you go into Mr. Popo's Wonder Emporium, you might be able to find some as well, but totally worth picking up. I hope you guys enjoy. Take it easy.